The Tale of a Stonecutter is a Japanese folk tale about a man dissatisfied with his position in life. He longed to be stronger, more influential, and more powerful. His journey led him to wish for transformation, but as each of these wishes came true, learned that the power came from his original form as a humble stonecutter. This story holds a powerful lesson. True strength comes not from your external changes, but your journey. As I prepare to train for the Tokyo Marathon, I see so many parallels in the training journey reflected in this stonecutter's tale. Much like the stonecutter, I realized that completing a marathon isn't about bringing change or trying to be someone that I'm not. It's about embracing where I am on this journey, making steady progress, and the power of the process. So in this video, we're going to take a bit of a different journey through my Tokyo Marathon training plan, framed by the stonecutter's own desires for transformation. Each chapter representing a different stage of my journey and the qualities that will help me get to race day. The stonecutter's first wish was to become a mighty mountain, towering over everything with unshakable strength. In Chicago, I faded in the final 7 kilometers, unable to find an extra gear to push me through to that sub 3:30 goal that I had. After completing 3 full marathon training blocks, I feel like it's time to up the mileage and the days that I'm out there running. For Tokyo, this is now running 7 days a week and having 2 strength sessions on top. In these initial weeks of the training plan, looking to keep my easy days easy and my harder days hard, finding that I'm also opting not to include any marathon pace in my long runs for this training block. Unlike my second and third marathon plans, which were both 16-week builds, I'm opting for a 13-week plan this time. I am relying on the strength and fitness that I have built over this past year when it comes to training for my 4th marathon, looking to peak at 115 kilometers during peak week. To end each chapter, I thought I'd dedicate it to sharing a particular session as part of my week. For me, wanting to be the mountain resembles the long run, the foundation to every marathon plan. For Tokyo, with my long runs, I'll be maxing out at 30 kilometers. I am also incorporating deload weeks to minimize the risk of injury and for appropriate adaptations to occur. Here's what the breakdown looks like. The stonecutter next wishes to become the sun, radiating energy and power, effortlessly illuminating the world. By thinking about this next part of the story, I'm drawn to the quality sessions I've selected for Tokyo. This includes 8 by 800 meters, 4 by 1 mile repeats, and the introduction of tempo runs up to 16 kilometers. The 8 by 800 meter and 4 by 1 mile repeats will rotate every Tuesday during the course of the 13-week build, and having a dedicated session for my tempo runs on the Thursday in the program. It's also the first time that I will be doing 2 quality sessions each week during the marathon training, being mindful of the additional energy requirements and fatigue that may happen as a result. I'll be monitoring my fatigue levels very closely in the first few weeks of training, completely open to readjusting my training plan if needed. I'm reminded too of the time that we put into the things that we love, seeing that with this 13-week marathon training block, a lot of my energy is going to be invested in training. But also, the training plan that I've created actually scares me a little bit, so I'm hoping to see just how much my investment of my own energy translates into both the marathon time, but also the growth in myself on this personal journey. As discussed, my quality sessions embody the aspect of the sun. These will also be accompanied by a strength session earlier in the day. This is what that breakdown looks like. The stonecutter next wishes to become a cloud, floating freely and changing shape at will, able to adapt to any situation. Even during base mileage period between marathons, I'm finding myself suffering from shin splints again with relatively easy runs happening. And with this additional increase in my training load, have accepted the fact that there is going to be some discomfort that comes from this training plan too. But it's now training off of experience where I know that my body can handle that pain when it comes to the onset of shin splints. However, if things start to get gradually worse, we'll look at deloading and even adjusting to cross-training if needed. Marathon training plans are usually very routine, which is why I like them. However, As I start to ramp up the mileage for Tokyo, have to understand that I need to be flexible when it comes to everyday life. I need to be realistic here, not pressuring myself if the sessions that I've planned for myself are a little too hard and having to readjust. I'm drawn back to one of my Ballarat Marathon training principles that I incorporated, sticking to the 80-20 rule. I didn't follow this principle in the final stages of the Chicago Marathon, having a little scare with runner's knee before the marathon just a couple weeks out. The summer weather is also going to be another factor in this training build. While this is the second time I've trained for a marathon during the summer period, I do need to understand that these hot conditions may require me to adjust some of my sessions, particularly when it comes to the quality ones. If it's too hot out there or if I'm feeling just a little too dehydrated, I won't hesitate in dropping or reducing the training load, still able to get that stimulus without putting my physical health at risk. Adapting to our conditions like the cloud requires us to keep things easy. So this chapter reflects my 10-kilometer easy runs on a Monday to start the week. It serves as a reminder to listen to my body and make any adjustments, including breaks if required. This is what the breakdown looks like. After the sun and the cloud, the stonecutter wishes to become the vast ocean, able to endure and weather any storm. Weeks 9 and 10 are going to be the greatest test for me, intending to hit 108 kilometers in week 9 and then 115 kilometers in week 10. When thinking about this point of the story in the Stonecutter's tale, I also reflect on my own ambitions to run a sub 3-hour marathon and to hopefully run a Boston qualifier time. Deep down, I know that I let my mind win in Chicago when it came to the Hurt Locker battle, not wanting to push through that pain cave to be in that discomfort. While I know that this is our body's natural response, I really want to challenge myself in pushing mentally through that pain to see just how strong I really am. I know that I can run the marathon distance now, but I know that I can also push myself to go faster. While I'm confident that the increase in mileage will help me with the endurance side of things, I'm still yet to figure out what exactly my mental plan will be when it comes to the marathon itself. And I feel like this mental component will be the main pillar to my marathon training this time. I'm at a point now where I've started to know how exactly my body responds to specific nutrition, but also how it handles different paces. So I'm hoping to build off of those pillars to strengthen that mental game that allows me to push through in those harder stages. To endure and be resilient like the ocean means spending more time out there on my feet. It's getting up in the middle of the week, despite being tired, to get out there and complete another run with no one there to push me out of bed. It's finding that inner motivation to dig deep. Here, Wednesday will now be a midweek long run with the following breakdown. In the final stage, the stonecutter realizes that his true strength was being in the stonecutter all along. He returns to his original form, understanding that he had the power within him the whole time. When I'm not training for a marathon, my mind tends to wander quite a bit, often pondering upon situations that I've experienced and asking myself some pretty deep questions. And while I know I can complete the marathon distance now, it's about having faith in this process of deciding to challenge myself in this 4th marathon training block to see just how strong I really am. Recently, I've been very critical of myself and even doubting all of the skills that I don't think I have. But during these times where things seem a little bit more challenging than usual, I look over to my window where the 3 marathon medals that I've completed sit. And as I look at the marathon medals now, they're a reminder to me that I can do hard things, and no matter how hard things can get, these tough feelings and these tough times will pass. So I'm very keen to see how my Tokyo Marathon training goes. The 10-kilometer post long run on a Sunday serves as a reminder that I am racing against myself. I'm not someone looking to be an elite marathoner, but Jack who looks to achieve yet another goal in this journey called life. Breakdown below. So there we have it, friends, a little bit of a different take on my Tokyo Marathon training plan. The aim with this video was to try and highlight some key pillars that I'm trying to implement for this 4th marathon training plan now, rather than just spelling out every single individual session that I will be completing. Don't worry though, there will be uploads in the future documenting the progress through the marathon training journey. Speaking of Tokyo Marathon training, I feel like this is a unique opportunity not only to share my personal journey, but also what I seem to learn along the way during my training blocks. Let me know down in the comments what kind of videos you would like to see from this training. Is it training vlogs letting you know my exact thoughts and feelings while out there on my runs? Is it doing a week of eating whilst training for a marathon, documenting that kind of journey? Or is it sharing some more data and analytics of breaking down some of my sessions and my workouts? I'd be keen to hear your thoughts and carry on the conversation down there. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and stay tuned for all things Tokyo Marathon training. I'm Jack, and I'll see you next time. Catch up.